one of the things that's tricky in life is just as much as we said we have to put the marriage first and at the center of our life, part of doing that is to also take care of ourselves individually, right? So, you know what they say when you know, if there's a problem on an airplane, the oxygen mask come down, put your oxygen mask on first. And I know we were both the type to say, what, before our kids? Why would we put our mask on before our kids? We got to save the kids, right? But if we can't breathe, we can't be there for the kids. Well, individually, if we're not taking care of ourselves as individuals, we can't treat the marriage with the respect and commitment that it deserves, or the amount of work and dedication it takes, right? So if I'm struggling in my own personal life, I can't always be the best partner in that marriage. So we know just as important as it is to put the marriage first, we have to also put ourselves first. Sometimes we got to put that oxygen mask on and grow ourselves and take care of ourselves. And so I think there was never really a time where we were that worried or concerned, but the challenge, I think, was to say, it's okay to, you know, care for ourselves. And sometimes, you know, when you go through bad relationships or you've had dysfunction or codependency in your childhood and stuff, you think of it as being selfish if I say, hey, I'm going to go to therapy myself today because I have to work on some things that I'm dealing with and stuff like that. So there is a fear in loving yourself, you know, and putting yourself first in some ways, because you think, oh, well, she's going to think I don't love her because I'm trying to put myself first. But what it actually is we put ourselves first and make sure we're strong individuals and healthy individuals, and that allows us to be even stronger as a team. Does that make sense? It does. To get more, to fine tune it even more or put something on it, like a situation, I would say, getting together, we both had children from previous marriages. So, you know, one thing that Donnie taught me, especially coming into it, was, like he was mentioning, by putting ourselves, making us the priority, we become mentors for our children. We model love. Whereas I was kind of trained to hide it. Like, don't let the kids, because, you know, you're not his dad and I'm not their mom, so let's not be affectionate towards the kids in front of them. That's something that he had to teach me of going, no. We need to model. It's okay if the kids are uncomfortable. They'll get over it, because kids need to see what a healthy, loving relationship looks like. So sometimes it took me a bit, oh my God, your son's here, don't kiss me, you know, that kind of thing. And now, it's not now, but it took me a little bit to adjust to it. And then I realized, once we did that, our kids fell in love with each other and became best friends. Yeah. And they now, when they're in their relationships, it looks like little us. It looks like us in our 20s, you know, like true. And, you know, we didn't always have those models growing up, right? And so many times, look, I'm not trying to act like the couple or the relationship expert. I think we're good at our relationship, and people do ask us advice a lot, but it's really important to put the relationship at the center and not be afraid to do that. You know, so many times we think it's like, oh, you know, the kids, and, you know, it's like, you know, oh, we can't go out to dinner tonight. We can't take a date night. You know, we got to be with the kids and every single day and and soccer and this and that. It's like, of course, we want to do all those things and we have to do those things, but we also have to show them what it looks like to be in a healthy, loving relationship. And I think if couples look at it that way, I think it can be very helpful. And I'm not trying to give everyone advice. Forgive me if I sound like I'm sort of being a coach out here, but I think it's something that it took us trial and error to learn, as Jenny said, and that's a really perfect example. But we've seen, you know, how successful and what an impact that's had on our children. Yeah. And to see how they are now with their loved ones. It's true, because they're dating, cool. And we're like, oh my God, they're imitating us. Yeah. Like, they're imitating us. Like, Donnie and I, we've always, like, when we're away, we FaceTime sleep with each other. And that's been in the media that we do that. Like, he's on the pillow. Well, my son, who's now 22 years old, you know, I'll go in his room to just check on him, and he's sleeping, and he's got the FaceTime pillow girlfriend
every night, FaceTime, and then doing the little things that Donnie does for me, he does it to his girl. So that's where I went, Donnie was so right. Like, no matter how butthurt your kids are initially, you've got to make you the priority, and then love always wins.